All right, folks, Yishai Fleischer here in Jerusalem with a man who is Jerusalem, Aryeh King. He's the deputy mayor of Jerusalem. Greatest job ever. Oh, my God, except for mayor. Maybe that'll happen also one day. No?
Never. Not me.
Aryeh King is the deputy mayor. He's also the founder of the Israel Land Fund, which reclaims land here in Jerusalem and other parts of the land of Israel. Aryeh King, tell me where we are right now. Why did you bring me here today?
We are standing at a neighborhood called Shimon HaTzadik. This neighborhood is about half a kilometer north from the old city, from Damascus Gate, old city of Jerusalem, of course. And this area is the area that we are, for about 10 to 15 years, focusing in redeeming more and more land, bringing more and more Jews to this place, to one house here, one house there. But behind of the scenes, what we worked for many years is about major plans, major city plans that will change all the reality of this area that today majority of the people here, population here, is Muslims or Christians. And I think in another 10 to 15 years from today, Yishai, quote me, the majority will be Jews living here, because we submitted plans. I'm talking about the municipality and private people, and things are changing big time.
You know, before we go on, I want to hear more about the technical changes, what the municipality, which you work for, has now decided. I want to ask you a more philosophical question. A few years ago, you were running for city council. I even helped with your campaign a little bit. And your slogan was, I remember when you chose the slogan, it was Le'ahedet Yerushalayim, to Judify, to make more Jewish Jerusalem. If somebody listens to this and has an issue with it, how do you defend that phrase? Is that an okay phrase? I'm asking you like neutrally. Is that an okay phrase? Is it right what you're saying to make an area more Jewish, to change a neighborhood's makeup? Is that morally correct?
The Bible is moral. The Torah is moral. And Am Israel coming back to Eretz Israel, it's the most moral thing that can happen in our days, in our generations. The state of Israel, when you read the charter of the independence of Jerusalem, of Israel, you will see it's written that Israel will be a Jewish state, not democratic state, but a Jewish state. So of course, if we want to follow the pioneers of our state idea, is that the capital of the Jewish state will be a Jewish city. And this is what I'm doing. I'm happy so much to do that. First through the Israel Land Fund, and now through the municipality of Jerusalem. And again, we are succeeding. I wish it would be more successful, but we are already seeing changes, positive ones.
Well, I mean, the building of Jerusalem and the rebuilding of Jerusalem is probably one of the most successful enterprises that humanity has ever seen. The rebirth of the city that the prophet Isaiah says will be called not forgotten, husbanded by the Jewish people. So it is incredibly successful. Of course, from the inside, we always see fault lines. Mayor Moshe Leon, I've seen different mayors. You were under also Nir Barkat, who was an internationalist, brought Formula One to the city, wanted to think about business. Moshe Leon, a Sephardic singer also, and other things. Is he doing it? Do people like him? And you're his deputy mayor. Is it working?
It's working. And the Moshe Leon is changed the way that the municipality looking at this city, like the municipality did a U-turn from going and thinking about how to westernize the city, how to make the city of all cultures, and some also Jewish, Jews like Muslim, Jews like Christian. No, it's first of all need to be a very clear, this is a Jewish city. Other nations or other religions can live here, but under one condition, accepting that this is a Jewish city. And Moshe Leon thinks like us. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And he's fulfilling that in the culture events that we have here, in the infrastructure, where to invest the money, and how to build, how much to build, and also to bring here the right international bodies and the organizations, and helping the government to bring to Jerusalem the embassies of other states that will be in Jerusalem. So we see a great change at the last 5, 6, 7 years. And as I said, I'm expecting that in 10 to 15 years, Jerusalem will be not the same like we see it today. Jews will live in many, many areas where you don't see today enough or at all Jews. And also you will feel much more as a Jewish city.
I worked for some time for Minister Ben-Gvir, and I remember that during the elections, we were sitting in the car, and I said to him, why are you so stuck on being Minister of National Security? Maybe you want to be Minister of Tourism or other things. And he said to me, no, this is what I want. And he was completely focused and fixated on this thing, and he had a vision for it. Same thing with you. I said to you, maybe Knesset, maybe this. You're like, no, I want to help build Jerusalem. What's so central about this city? What's so central about changing its makeup and making it more Jewish and a Jewish capital? Why is that such a big deal?
Ishai, people from overseas, Jews from the diaspora are coming to Israel. Many of them are coming to Israel in one condition, that they can visit the same visit Jerusalem, the Western Wall, maybe the Temple Mount, maybe their parents that are buried in Mount of Olives or in the Givat Shaul cemetery. I don't know many Jews that are coming once in a few years to Israel and not visiting Jerusalem.
Right.
So I see it as a mission, a mission that in any time, any date, in every year, Jew will feel secure and comfortable to come and visit Jerusalem. And when I'm saying Jerusalem, I'm talking about every area in Jerusalem, not just central of town or just the Kotel. I'm talking about every area in Jerusalem. So this is one mission. Second mission that I see it, that I took it on myself, it's about taking care of the security of the people living here in Jerusalem. Look, Isha, I was born in a kibbutz called Alumim. It's right next to the Gaza Strip,
border,
between Be'eri and Nachal Oz. At October 7, at Simchat Torah, my parents, my sister were locked for hours in their house while terrorists came 2.5 kilometers from Gaza into the kibbutz, murdered there more than 20 people. 3 soldiers were killed there. When I came to Jerusalem, I'm talking about 28 years ago, I noticed that people in the politics are talking about the future of East Jerusalem like the future of of Gaza Strip. Now, in the kibbutz, in the south, in Alumim, in Be'eri, in the...
What do you mean by that? What did you mean by that?
The distance from an Arab population in Gaza, or Rafiah, or Khan Yunis, in Gaza Strip, to the kibbutzim, at the borders of Gaza, it's 2 kilometers, 4 kilometers, and we saw what happened just 2 years ago. In Jerusalem, the distance between the same Arabs, they have the same ideology, they have the same Quran, they have the same Al Jazeera brainwash, they're going to the school of the same anti-Semitic Nazi organization of UNRWA. It's the same in Jerusalem and Gaza. And they say the same Arabs can come here, not 2 kilometers, I talk about 20 meters from a Jewish neighborhood to an Arab neighborhood. If it's in Armon HaNatziv to Jabal Mukaber, if it's in Neve Yaakov to Bet Hanina and Aram, 20 meters. They don't need a missile or a tunnel. They just can decide and do much worse massacre than what we faced in the south in Jerusalem. So this is, I saw it already 28 years ago, and this is why I decided I'm committed first to secure Jerusalem to the people living and visiting here, and second, to make it much more, I would say, welcoming to Jews to come and live here, making the apartment more available, cheaper, and make the infrastructure of East Jerusalem much more Western and like West Jerusalem. And by that, I'm sure this is my part of bringing Geula and looking for Bet HaMikdash to be built in our days.
Aryeh, you've spoken harshly against jihadism. You've compared what's happening in Jerusalem to Gaza. You have talked about distancing Arab communities from Jewish communities. You have said that you publicly ran on a platform called Judaizing Jerusalem. It sounds like ultra-nationalism. what's so funny about the reality of you as a deputy mayor here is that when I come to your office, I oftentimes see Arabs coming to you, speaking to you, feeling that you understand them. They seem to have more, what we call in the Middle East, respect for the way that you speak with them and talk with them. And you talk with them very frankly, but also in a very friendly way. And they feel that you are actually a defender of theirs. How does that work exactly? Am I right about that? Or did I blow it up too much? Is it true?
What you saw, it's the reality. Arabs know there's one person in the municipality of Jerusalem that wants to develop East Jerusalem. They know what is my goal. Many of them want me to succeed. Why? Because their life will be better. Their street will be much more clean. Security for their children will be much more high and high standard than if I will not be here and taking care of the security in their neighborhood, even if there is no one Jew living in this neighborhood. So they have their interest, very small interest. And I don't have a problem that when I am promoting the Jewish interest, so the non-Jews that living between of us, and they will continue living here, will join from our interest also.
They'll benefit.
They will benefit. I don't have a problem with that. By the way, I really believe that if Israel would stay at Gaza Strip,
right,
at 2005, nothing like what happened would happen because we were there.
Right.
By the way, Arabs in Gaza lived in much high standard of living when we were in Gush Katif and north of Gaza Strip than what otherwise they live today. So there's no question about that.
Let me say it a different way. Let me say it a different way. We left Gaza for the sake of peace. We gave away our land for the sake of peace. And in the end, we had to kill 100,000 Gazans. These people would have been spared had we had control. Yes, 20 terrorists would have been killed, 100 terrorists would have been killed throughout our control.
Exactly, and I will strengthen your comment now in why Jerusalem is so quiet since the war started more than 2 years ago. How come Jerusalem is so quiet?
This last Ramadan was the quietest Ramadan recorded.
The last two ones during the war, the quietest one. But why so quiet during all the year? Because at the first week of the war, the police here killed 6 Arabs that tried to commit terror attack. They didn't injure them, they didn't arrest them, they killed them. I'm telling you, these 6 that were killed saved about 700 Arabs that were killed if, God forbid, the Arab in Jerusalem were joining their friends, their brother and sister in Gaza. So the police saved hundreds of lives of Arabs by dealing with these 6 first terrorists at the beginning of the war.
This is a kind of Middle East math, okay?
No.
Sometimes
this is how you behave when you deal with Muslim culture. This is how they behave between themselves, and this is how they behave between Muslims and others, Christians or Jews. Unfortunately, they choose this life, way of life.
By the way, notice what's happening with Jolani. Jolani's a mass murderer. It drives me crazy that he's in any way respected. He was killing Druze, he was killing Alawites, now he's killing Kurds. And
the United States is getting red carpet.
Red carpet. Okay. So we've talked philosophy, we've talked Middle East, we've talked about your style of governance here in the city. Now let's talk tachlis, bottom line, brass tacks. Tell me what's going on. We are right now in Eastern Jerusalem, right? So the Mount of Olives is to our east. This is what's called the Tefer, right? It's between Western Jerusalem and Eastern Jerusalem. We see there the neighborhood of Ma'alot Dafna. And over here, we're in a neighborhood called Shimon HaTzadik.
Yeah.
Okay. I see Mount Scopus, the university, also to my east here.
Yeah.
And I see, of course, the central border police center of the country.
Yeah.
Right over here.
Yeah, where the flag is here.
Okay. And there's also a very holy spot here, which is the tomb of Shimon HaTzadik, who was a very famous high priest 2,000 years ago, about a little bit of time before Hanukkah. Mm-hmm. Some people say that he was the grandfather of Yochanan. Right? Anyway, bottom line is it's a holy special place. Tell me what the plans are for the future.
What we're seeing here, we are standing in the middle of 3 ancient Jewish neighborhoods. One was called Nachalat Yitzchak. You see there are 3 hotels there. We have Olive Tree Hotel, Grand Court Hotel, and behind of them there is the third one, Leonardo Hotel. Where these 3 hotels are built, until 1948, there was a Jewish neighborhood called Nachalat Yitzchak. Then we have this neighborhood right here where this tall tree is. All of this, you see these shops. Until the building that we see at the distance, this is already a Jewish neighborhood, the new building that we see there at the distance. And between where we are standing to the new building, this was a neighborhood called Nachalat Shimon. Nachalat Shimon, another Jewish neighborhood. Then we add the third neighborhood. We will see it now here. Okay, so here we have the third Jewish neighborhood called Shimon HaTzadik. So 3 Jewish neighborhoods. Jews lived here for many years, some of them more than 100 years. Why they came to live here? Because at the center of the land of Shimon HaTzadik, there is a grave cave of the high priest Shimon HaTzadik. And people wanted to be living around this holy place. So, at the last 5, 6 years, a very positive and strategic change is happening in the planning aspect. And I will explain. Where Shimon HaTzadik is, that's right behind of us, there is a plan for more than 300 apartments. It's still in the early stages, but it's already on the planner table. Behind of Shimon HaTzadik, at the far distance, we cannot see it, behind of the trees, there's already one neighborhood, it's already built, part of it. It's called the Shepherd neighborhood that was purchased by the Moskowitz family from Miami, and this is already in progress. You can go there and see building already in the 4th floor. And this is about another 100 Jewish apartments that are already in building process. Then we have here in this area, from this tall tree to the corner of this neighborhood here, okay, all of this area until the building that you see at the distance, 320, 330 new apartments will be built here, with synagogues, with mikveh, with next behind of the tree a yeshiva, a campus of a yeshiva that was approved also 2 weeks ago for a yeshiva. So in my imagination, in my vision, I would say, in another 15 years, we will have in all of this area more projects that I didn't mention, that I cannot disclose and talk about them now. But in another 15 years, we will have here about roughly 10,000 Jews living here. And this is a really change, because today there's not more than 1,000 Jews living in this area.
Well, Aryeh, that's a big vision, and I want to disclose to you that I myself have been very interested in trying to come back and living here. The Shepherd Hotel, I'm like, when are you guys finishing this project already? Because it's a beautiful project. And we also have another thing which we didn't talk about, which is the proximity to the Old City. You can walk here to the Old City of Jerusalem. Everybody wants to come pray in the Old City. You also have a train line here, right?
Yeah, the light train.
Listen, the train of the city's train system is like tearing up the whole system. Right now, Jerusalem is like a parking lot. There's traffic everywhere. The place is like, and now tourism is down right now.
You see, we take advantage of that.
Right.
Because of there's not so many, unfortunately, there's not so many tourists, and we are expecting that at 2027 there will be a start. The tourists will start returning. We see it already. We hear it from the tourist offices and from the hotels. Reservations are coming back. So we need to prepare for that, and we need to do our best that until then, till 2027, whatever we can finish, we finish. And this is why you see so much work on the roads in order to complete at least another line, maybe even 2, until 2027. And again, when it will be finished, I'm talking about around the year 2030, Jerusalem will be a city that will be covered with a train net, light train, the heavy train from Tel Aviv that will have another station in central of town and another station next to in the south part of Jerusalem.
Wow.
You could come, Ishai, you could come from Tel Aviv. You would be able to come, to go on the train from Tel Aviv. And Ishai, in 45 minutes, you will be at the Kotel.
Wow. Wow, that's
45 minutes, Ishai. Today in Jerusalem, from Efrat, it will take you 1 hour and 20 minutes, okay, sometimes. Train, no traffic jams.
Right.
You go on the train in Tel Aviv, 45 minutes.
You get to Jerusalem, then you connect to a light rail.
You connect to the light train station in Jaffa Street, and from there would be a train, or you can take a cab, or you can walk. Right? Just say walk.
Walking is the best.
Use your legs.
Right.
We check it. 45 minutes walking distance on the train if you come from Tel Aviv.
So on the one hand, you're the municipality and yourself, Aryeh King, Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem, you're trying to make it a more Jewish city, but at the same time, also more welcoming city for tourism.
Yeah,
that's part of it. I mean,
Jerusalem was and will be all the time the number one attraction to every religious person in the world.
Right.
Religious person.
Right.
So we need to have it accessible for them to come. Whatever they want to do here, they are welcome. But again, we are not here to compromise about our identity and the identity of this city.
I think it makes perfect sense. When you have a strong identity, people are attracted to it. And at the same time, Jerusalem is a city that will be welcoming people. I call it spiritual capital of the world. Okay?
It's okay. Yeah. Again, spiritual until the stage that nobody by his spiritual thinks that I don't have the right to exist here.
No, of course not.
Okay?
No.
Because some have this spiritual way of thinking.
No. The control, the sovereignty is ours. This is our capital city, the heartland of the heartland, the heartland of the Holy Land. But I'm saying, but it also has a call, a light to the world. Ki mitzion tetzet Torah, the Torah of the light of Jerusalem spreads out to the world, and it's of course through that strength.
It's right.
Through the rebuilding.
My house will be a house for all nations.
That's right.
Okay?
House of prayer for all nations.
Yeah.
Aryeh King, Deputy Mayor of Jerusalem, you are really making Jerusalem stronger, bigger, safer, and also easier for tourists to come to, connect. You're also taking care of the non-Jewish residents of the city that want to live with us in peace and want to benefit.
Ishai, I must tell you thank you. Thank you for first of all, for again giving me the opportunity to talk to the people, to pass the right message of Jerusalem.
Right.
Okay? The right, without compromising about, politically correct, very straight, okay? And I can tell you, and I'm saying it to you and also to the people that viewing this interview, we couldn't make it without the support of people from overseas. People that I know, people that saw previous interviews of me with you, that saw it, they came here, they said, we want to see it in our own eyes. We want to see what you talked about with Isha. We want to go and see the mezuzah, where there was a mezuzah before 48, the house. And we want to see Givat HaMatos, where we want also to touch the you call it the holy dust of Jerusalem. When you build, you have dust. I call it a holy dust. So people saw that, heard that, and came because they wanted really to, not just to see it, but to smell, to feel what you describe. So thank you for having me the opportunity, giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. We have a mission. As you said, we have a mission. We're mission driven. And the big mission is Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, hamachzir shechinato leTzion. Blessed are you, God, King of the universe, who returns His presence to Zion. That presence comes through a physical rebuilding, through the strength of Israel. That's actually what brings the presence of God to Jerusalem. All right, folks. Aryeh King, thank you so much for being with us.
Ishai.
And let's not forget to support, build, check out the Israel Land Fund, check out the Municipality of Jerusalem. If you want to help my show, it's fightforisrael.org with the number 4 in the middle, fightforisrael.org, and buy me a coffee/Yishai. God bless you, folks, from Yerushalayim. Keep up the good strength from the land of blessings, and shalom.
Shalom.